Hello, hello, hello. It's Wednesday. Don't you feel like I sing the day of the week every time I get on here? I'm trying to fix this just a little bit. Okay. I am a hot, stinky mess right now, but I'm so excited. And before I lose this feeling, I just had to get on here because this morning I made a post and said, I can't wait to tell you what I did this morning at 7:30. And I am literally on cloud nine right now. I cannot even contain how excited I am. And I wanted to go live 2 hours ago, but I couldn't, and I'll tell you why in just a second. And so I couldn't wait to get home and I feel like I'm bursting. Have you ever just been so excited that you're like, I want to tell everybody what's going on? So I'm just going to get to it because I'm so excited. All right, so this morning, let me back up. A while ago, I got asked to run a unit PT for the Army MP unit that couldn't pass their PT test. That's their physical fitness test. They either busted tape because they were too heavy, or they couldn't hit the least amount of reps or time. And so I got asked to come into this 3-week challenge. And basically what happened was they got to go to different classes throughout the day, all day. They had different workouts they had to do. They went to classes, they saw nutritionists, they all kinds of really cool stuff. And so they kind of got 3 weeks off of work and got dove into health and fitness. Now, when we started, there were probably, I don't know, over 30 people. And the guy estimated a 10 to 15% injury rate, somewhere in that range. And he asked me, would I teach Insanity however many X amount of times per week, and would I make it an hour long, longer if I wanted it to be? And in my mind, I thought, these people are never going to be able to do this because they already lead these sedentary lives. They're already struggling with these things, and they're never going to be able to do an hour of Insanity. It's hard. I can barely do an hour of Insanity. But I agreed, and I was very excited about it because working with people for 3 weeks in a row, you get to see them progress. And so day one, I show up, and they were all really nervous. What I didn't know is that they had been swimming for 2 hours before they got there. I didn't even know that. So they were really nervous about doing Insanity just by virtue of the name. And so I told them we were going to do the exact same routine the entire 3 weeks. That way they could see their progression. I didn't want to give them something new every week and them just feel frustrated every time they came. I wanted them to learn the moves, learn the order of the moves, because it's really easy to follow Insanity, and then be able to see their progression from where they had to take breaks the first day to where they finished in 3 weeks. And some people have fallen out along the way, but we had a really good group of people that finished strong all the way through the 3 weeks. Now, I posted yesterday a picture of the certificate that they gave me, and it literally brought me to tears when they presented this to me. And specifically, there was one girl in there. She's young. I think she said she was 21, maybe. She's young. And she just really, really touched me with what she said about how I had inspired her and impacted her life and motivated her. So I messaged the guy and I asked him if I could come out today when they do their final physical test. I didn't really know what the rules are on this. I've never, even being Marine Corps, I don't just show up to Michael's PT test. First of all, he would die of embarrassment. And second of all, I don't really know if civilians are allowed to do that kind of thing. So I just reached out to him and I was like, hey, I feel really invested in these people. Is there any way that I can come out and cheer them on? He was all about it. Yes, come. So this morning I get up, I went to the gym, I did my workout, I taught Insanity, and then I hauled butt over to the parade field where they were running their test. So as they get out of the car, some of them were walking up, and I was like, surprise! Oh, sorry, see, I'm all sweaty. That's disgusting. I was like, keep my arms down. Surprise! I was like, I bet you didn't expect me to be here. And they were all like, oh my gosh, we're so happy to see you. And so one of the other instructors that had run some of the classes, she was there as well, so that was really cool. And so they started with push-ups, and initially I'm kind of standing back come on guys, you could do it, and I was blown away. Oh my gosh, you guys, they were killing it. They had great form. They were just pumping them out. Now, I don't know how many of you have been around military, but there's some really interesting push-ups in the military. These were legit push-ups. These people, these men and the girl, looked so good doing these push-ups. I'm talking people that are still overweight and out of shape, but they're better than they were out there just killing it. It was like a mental thing. Like they just knew they could do it. So by there were 3 groups, 4 in each group. So by the end of like the 4th person, I was like in their face, like, don't you dare drop your knees. Don't you drop those knees. You go 5 more. Like it was my dream job. I was like, why did I join the military? This is amazing. I had the best time. And I was like in their faces and I'm screaming at them, but you're not allowed to touch them, which I had to like be really mindful of because I tend to like want to touch people. And so like they would finish and they would have these like amazing numbers and they'd get up and they're like, oh my, yes, like that was them. They're like, yes, I did it. Like they were so proud of themselves. And so we went from the push-ups to the sit-ups. Now, a lot of these bellies, they're big belly people. A lot of weight right through the middle. And I was like, oh, come on, guys, you got this. You can do this. One of the guys, I'm about to cry. This has been the best morning. One guy looked at me and he's like, I got you, insanity. I got this. And so they go down for their crunches. And what the Army tells them, if you're Army, I'm sorry, I don't understand this mentality. If there's something behind it, please explain it. And maybe the Marine Corps, the Air Force, maybe you all do it. I don't really know, but I've never heard of this before. So they hold their ankles and they basically tell them to like throw themselves back and bounce off the ground. I don't really know where that came from. So I was like, don't do that. That's bad. Don't do that. One guy was literally like slamming himself down and back up. And I was like, what is the point in that? You're going to like bruise your back. It's so silly. But anyway, they go through the push-ups. And I mean, they're like, scrumming to get to the top. They have 2 minutes to get as many as they can. And we got in these people's faces and were able to motivate them to do like, just do one more. And they'd get up and we're like, okay, do one more. Just all the way to finish the 2 minutes. I don't care what you get, just finish the 2 minutes. You don't stop before those 2 minutes are over. And they didn't. Some of them did. Most of them didn't. It was just freaking awesome to watch these people push themselves so hard. So then it's time for the run. This is kind of the part that was freaking everybody out. So they have to go 2 miles. And then the time that they have to get is set like by their age. So I walked around. I was like, what do you have to get? What do you have to get? What do you have to get? So that I kind of had an idea of when I'm watching that clock what the range is. So I was like allowed to run with them, which was really fun. So I'm like pumping them up right before they start. I'm like, no matter what, you don't walk. I don't care how tired you are. I don't care if you want to quit. You don't walk. You just, even if you're like pretend jogging, pretend jog. Don't freaking walk. And so they start the timer, they start going, and some of them had like really tight times they had to make. Like the one guy had to run like a 6-minute mile. Now, he was the guy that was running it, so he was able to do that. But even some of the people who were there for like the camp, it was like 8-minute miles, 8.5. Like that's tough when you're not a runner. And so the girl, because there was only one, and I just felt so connected to her. I was like, what do you have to get? She said, I have to get 19 minutes. I'm like, girl, that's easy. You can get a 19, like that's a 9.5-minute mile. You got this. She's really little. She's young. She's strong. I'm like, you can do this. I don't even really know why she was there. Well, I'll tell you at the end why I think she was there. And so I was like, let's go. I'm going to meet you guys halfway. So I met him at the half mile, like halfway around the loop. And I'm like cheering him on. And then here comes my girl. So I hop on the track with her. And I run the rest of the half mile with her. And she is pacing really well. And I'm not even talking to her. Sometimes it's just having somebody beside you. It's just having that accountability there right along with you doing the same thing. Sometimes it's just having somebody beside you that you feel like you have to go one step faster than they do. And that's what it was for this girl and I. She would inch up a little bit, so I would push myself a little bit, which would then push her. Now, I had nothing to win. Nothing to gain from this except watching these people freaking succeed. And that was my driving force. And so we come around the 1 mile marker and she's at like an 8-minute mile. I was like, excuse my language. I was like, holy shit, you got this. You're going to do it. You got this. Just don't slow down. I'll meet you on the other side. So she keeps going. I turn around. I'm so excited. Can you tell? I turn around, I go running backwards on the track to get the next person and pull them up to the 1 mile marker. And then I turn around and I went back, got the next person and drug them up. And so even there were a couple of people who take a walking test. And so make sure you, hey, stop, freeze. Go to the other bathroom. I'm on live. Go to the other bathroom and take the dog with you. Go get a treat. Go get a treat. Take her up. She doesn't want to go. Okay, hold on. You got the door? Thank you. Okay, so there's a couple of people who do a walking test, so they have to go a little bit further. It's like if they have really bad injuries and they just aren't able to run. So I lived back around to every single person. Everybody got my help in the first mile. I didn't leave any. It was like nobody left behind. Oh my goodness, this dog. Hold on. Come on, pup. Come on. Come on. Go. Okay. Sorry. Okay, it was like no man left behind. I wasn't leaving anybody behind. So I got everybody around the first time. And then I'm like, oh, crap, my girl. So I turn around and I'm trying to find her on the track. And I see the guy that had been in front of her. So I'm like, she shouldn't be too far behind him. So I go running back there. And this guy, he is somebody who really struggled. But he never quit in the class. He never quit. And I'm like, come on, you're right here at the finish line. You could see the finish line from where we were. I'm like, all you got to do, 30 seconds. Just push for 30 seconds. And then here comes the girl. So I meet up with her, and I'm like, do you see him? Do not let him pass you. Do not let him finish in front of you. So we take off, and I'm like sprinting, and she's just kind of right behind me. And I'm like, are you really going to let me beat you? Are you really going to let me beat you to the finish line? You're really going to let this guy beat you? Out of nowhere, she freaking takes off sprinting. I couldn't even catch her. I just had to let her go. She sprints to the finish line. How about this girl dropped 2.5 minutes off of her run time from when she did the same thing 3 weeks ago? If you're not a runner and you don't know what that means, that's freaking huge. She dropped 2.5 minutes off of her run time in a 3-week period. That is huge. Gargantuan. It's insane. It is insane. She turned around and she looked at me with tears in her eyes and she goes, I am so grateful for you. You have no idea what you've done for my life. What? So I'm like, you're welcome, but there's more people. So I turn around, I go running back, and I'm dragging all these Army people up to the finish line, and they were trying so hard. These people were busting their butt. So I would give them like, you have 30 seconds. You need to get there in 30 seconds. What was the most amazing thing was these people who finished at the top, who really they just charged this course, came back around. Every single time somebody turned the corner, this group of 4 people went back and you can't pull them because you can't touch them, but they surrounded these people and they just encouraged them and motivated them to get to the end. Everybody, whether they passed or failed that running test, whether they passed or failed, every single person dropped time. Every single one of them. Nobody went slower. We are talking like 2 to 2.5 minutes from their original. We went back to the paperwork. I was like, I need to see these numbers. And when we were standing in a circle after everyone had finished, I said to them, do you know what is so wild about this? Is that this wasn't that you had this amazing transformation in 3 weeks. You're not perfect. You still struggle with the same crap you struggled with before. And if you leave here today and you don't continue doing these same things that you've been taught, you're just going to go backwards. But what's amazing has been your mental transformation. When you guys showed up today, you showed up here with confidence. You showed up motivated. You showed up ready to go. Versus 3 weeks ago, you don't drop 2.5 minutes off of run time in 3 weeks just because you worked out a couple times. You dropped 2.5 minutes in 3 weeks because you freaking tried. You got out there and you tried. That's the difference. And I looked at the girl and I said, when you came here last time, you didn't try. You did not try. You're not a 10-minute mile. You don't run a 10-minute mile. Look at your physique. Look at your conditioning. The only reason you ran a 10-minute mile the last time you came here is because you didn't try. Today, you came out here and you were motivated. You were motivated internally to reach a goal, and it is up to you to reach that goal. I didn't drag you across that finish line. I had absolutely nothing to do with your time. You freaking did that. You got out there and killed that course. I didn't have anything to do with that. I mean, I was like on fire. And then they were all just so touched and so thankful, not only for the classes and all of that, but the fact that like we followed up with them. The fact, this is their own words, the fact that they had somebody on the side cheering for them, telling them that they could do it because they don't believe that they can. So having that 1 or 2 people on the sideline, and some of what I said, I can't say on Facebook. Some of what I said, I can't say around my kids because that's what they need. So just having that behind you, having those people beside you, that is, this literally changed my drive. This has changed why I want to do all of this. Like there was a, yellow and blue, Navy. There were 2 actually Navy units out there during the time that we were there. And both of those units approached me and they were like, what are you doing? I was like, no, this is what I do. If you ever want me just to show up on the parade field and yell at you, I will. Like, this is amazing. Why didn't I join the military? And they were like, it's not too late. We'll still take you. It has just been such a wild morning. I am so excited. I'm so proud. That's the thing, is I am so proud of these people. And I told them, like, I want to see you come to classes. I want to see you at Gaffney. I gave them my information. If you want that attention at home, you want that one-on-one, you need help on the meal planning, because good Lord, the way some of these people are eating. The one girl's like, I eat one meal a day, and the rest of the day I do shakes and nuts. You eat 1 meal a day and you do shakes and nuts? Like, you can't eat like that. And so I offered my assistance to them. I told them what we do in these small groups, but it really was never about a sale for me. For me, it was all about exactly what happened today. It was about watching these people completely transform their mindset. The one guy, he's a big guy. The first time we met, and I told him, you guys are going to be sore. You need to get some Epsom salt, soak in a bath. And he was like, oh, what if I don't fit in the bath? Because he wouldn't. He literally doesn't fit in the bath. So I told him what to do. He came to me. We were standing there talking after he finished his run, and he said, I have these hunting pants that used to be really tight in my legs. They used to be really tight, and I used to have to pull really hard to try to punch the extra, I used to have to pull really hard just to get it into the hole. And he said, I put them on last night just out of curiosity, and they were big on me. They were big in my legs. It was loose in my waist, and I didn't have to pull on my belt. I just fit like a normal person would fit in their belt. This is 3 weeks that they've been doing this. And I said to him, you know what? Just keep going. Just keep going. What if you do it for another 3 weeks? And then another 3 weeks? And I told them, like, why don't we meet out here as a group? In 3 weeks, let's meet again. Let's run this frickin' test again. It's not official. It doesn't matter. We use a stopwatch on our phones, and we run it again, and let's see where we are in 3 weeks, and 3 weeks from there, and 3 weeks from there, and just chunk it up into 3-week periods, but do not go backwards. In the moment, they're excited. They're committed. They're wound up. They want to do it. But what's going to happen after this weekend? What's going to happen after the barbecue on Memorial Day? Then what? What do they do on Tuesday? That's really what matters. And that's what I told them. What you did today doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's really what happens tomorrow, Friday, Tuesday, Monday at the barbecue. I gave them, standing right there, I gave them tips. If you're going to do deviled eggs, use hummus. Don't use all the mayonnaise and all that stuff. Use hummus. If you're going to have spaghetti, use spaghetti squash. I literally sat there today. I've been out there for 2 hours. It was amazing. And I told them, none of this matters if you turn around tomorrow and go back to your sedentary lifestyle. All of this was for naught. You're going to get taped again, you're going to bust tape again, and you're going to end up here again. What if you did something different? What if you decided that this time you're not going back? You're just going to keep plowing forward. You're going to keep going. That's what matters. That's how I know that I affected your life, is when shit gets hard, you don't stop. You keep going. You may slip, you may fall, you may stumble, you may have a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, but you come back. That's how you know that you're a different person. That's how you know that you have changed from the inside out. And I am just on cloud 9 today. I'm so proud when you have an entire group of people and everybody improved their numbers. Holy crap, that's huge. You don't expect 100%. We got 100% today. Everybody improved their numbers. We're talking 20 plus, like 20 more push-ups than they got the 3 weeks ago, 20 to 30 more sit-ups than they got 3 weeks ago. And 2 to 2.5 minutes off their time. It's huge. I don't know if you guys get it. If you can tell how excited I am, how proud I am. Like, I went around the circle and they're all like soaking wet and I was like bear hugging all of them. I'm like, I'm so proud of you. Like, I couldn't help it. I'm like crying. I mean, they were getting emotional because they're proud of themselves. If you've never had that moment when you've just been so proud of yourself, you need that moment. Everybody needs that moment. I'm not proud of myself today. I didn't do anything. I didn't get paid to do this. I got no benefit from this at all. I completely volunteered my time. The benefit that I got was today when they all freaking improved their numbers. Not everybody passed. They didn't. But I said to them, I'm not in the Army. I don't give a crap if you passed or you didn't pass. I could care less. But all of you improved your numbers. That's what I care about. That's where I come in. The Army has a different standard. You have to live by that standard. But when you look at those numbers, you need to be so proud of what you did. Girl, they accomplished so much in 3 weeks. I just am like busting at the seams with pride and excitement. I am just so excited. I got in the car and I called Michael. He didn't answer. I called his cell phone. He didn't answer. I called my mom. I'm like, yes, this has been an amazing morning. I'm so excited. But I'm also so nasty. Look at this. So I'm going to go take a shower because I smell terrible. But you guys have a great day. I'm excited. Do something fun today. Do something that's going to make you proud so you have this feeling too. Have a great day.